Hello there, and welcome to another episode in my Star Wars world, and it is the beginning. The time has come. Execute Order 66. Getting all of these copper golems because it's finally time to start my storage system. I've been waiting for this for ages, so you know what, for you guys, let's just jump straight in with that build. Well, that is the foundation of this room built up, but there's still a few things that need to be done. For example, I did leave these bits up here empty on top. Now, there was a reason for that, and that's because I wanted to put some pots on there, and I figured why not use these pots so we can get the advancement. So let's just quickly choose some of these. I don't really mind which ones. Do I need something else? No, that does work. There you go. And there's a second one. So we got those. Now you'll also see that I do have all of these copper golems in my inventory because we're going to be placing those in a moment. There was one other thing. So just so you know, this little room over here is just like an overspill for anything that doesn't get filtered out. That way I can come in, add that to the filters, or decide if I want to put them somewhere else. For now, I've just been chucking stuff in here. Now, these aren't great. They don't work as well as I'd like them because we only have this one barrel here to fill them up with. But of course, you know, you can just come, take these. I can then put these all in. Is there a way to... You can't shift click them in. That's a bit disappointing. I kind of wish you could shift click to put a whole stack inside of those. That would make them a lot more useful. Now what we do have down here, you'll see if I drop this, nothing happens. And then you hear the burn. This is my little trash can here, so we can just drop stuff on these. Just in case any of my shulkers go over here, I don't want to be burning those, so it's going to be off all the time. But I can chuck everything on and then just click that to burn it all. Of course, this area here is my main little area where I'm going to be filling up all of my shulker boxes. So I can place them all on here. You may have seen in the time lapse, if I click on this, it will just break that and pick up all the shulker boxes for me. It just makes it a little bit easier and a little bit of a time save for later on when I don't really want to be picking up 25 shulker boxes or more. Something I didn't plan for was a bed. I don't really know where I'm going to put that at the moment, but we'll see. Obviously have a little crafting station here. We've got the stone cutters, the anvils, we've got the crafting table, and of course down here we have the smithing tables and an ender chest. So this should make it easy for me to access everything, and everything's quite open unlike my previous area. I'm quite happy to have it like this. It's going to be really nice being able to move around. So the way I have these set up is we have a filter in the back. So if we look in here, you can see I have put all of these filters in because I wouldn't be able to access them after. So only the crimson logs, the main item that you mine, will go down into this bottom chest, and it will also fill up these shulker boxes. This middle one we can then use, now that I think about it, yeah, so this middle one doesn't have a hopper going into it. So this will be for like full shulker boxes of stuff. And then the top will be where we have all of the variants, the planks, the stairs, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Then if we come up here, you'll see there is another chest up the top. These are empty at the moment. You can see the copper chests behind. This is where I'm going to set up my filters. So all of the crimson logs will be in this one, all of the warped logs and everything will be in this one, and so on. And that way the top chest will fill up with those items and the bottom will fill up with the logs. But now, as I mentioned, I do need to go and start putting all of these guys in. We have the silence me tag here just so they're quiet, because we don't really want to be listening to that. Now one thing I will say is you do see this big empty space here. I have a plan for that. It was planned out and I did test it in my creative world, so we'll get to that later in the episode, don't worry, that will be filled in. So I went with the red and white pattern in here because that is the Republic colours, and obviously this is from the prequel trilogy for the most part. Most of Naboo is anyway, so yeah, that's why I went with the Republic colours. And I'm not overly happy with how it all went, you know, like some parts here, they're just not that clean, and I don't really know how to improve on that because the chests just take up most of the space, and then behind it you just have this mess of redstone. If we take a look here, you can see, well, it's lagging a bit. I don't know why that is. Alright, that's a bit better. So we have the double item sorters here with the copper golems that are going to be going up the top. We have this whole mess of like, don't even get me started on what happened here. So we have a shulker box unloader. In this room we have this part here. We can dump our shulker boxes in. It'll all start unloading into this, dropping all the items out, filtering out our bulk items, which we have the 3 stones, we have sand, gravel, moss, grass and dirt. They're the things that I have the most of and will continue to get the most of and use in various projects as well. So they get filtered out. Unfortunately this doesn't filter quick enough, and I didn't want to put multiple filter lines because I wanted it in single lines. So the way I did it after that is had all of these chests are backup. This is because the copper golems aren't working as fast as the droppers here, so therefore all the items will get backed up, and rather than me losing them, I just put like a maximum amount of double chests in. That way all of the shulker boxes can unload and we should be fine. So yeah, any of these that get missed will go into this area here, come down here and get sorted out once again. So we have a double sorter for all of the bulk items, then they'll go along here, go into this water elevator inside here, and then just put them basically back straight into this, and then they will come out one at a time because of how the hoppers work down there, and then it will just filter out those into my bulk shulker loader, which at the moment I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work. We're going to have to find out because I had a couple of issues with it, but I haven't actually used it to fill up. It's usually been the redstone breaking and then sending multiple shulkers through, so we'll see how that goes. Then the way this works down here is we have a dispenser in here, we have a hopper out the back, and then all of these go up, and these will be all filled with cobblestone, and then this one I can take the items from, so I can come here, take items, or if that empties I can then click this, it will replace the shulker box, and then the empty shulker box will be popped off and I can just chuck it in the chest over here. So it's an easy replacement method, and I can also come and take full shulkers out from this area here, so I have full access to these bulk items. So it's a little bit different to these ones. So the method to get all of these guys in is going to be like this. We have to block up all of this. So we have this little area now. We place in 1 copper golem, strip it 4 times, we wax it, and then we place that name tag in, and then we can just break that block. And now he's in place, and we need to do that many more times for all of these and all of the ones over this side. I did already do the ones down here because they were getting blocked in, so I had to do those earlier. One other little thing I forgot to mention is I used the blossom flowers, the eye blossom flowers here, so that I can see if it's nighttime or daytime from inside. I thought that was pretty cool. Even though I do have the time on there, I just thought it was a nice little addition. But I have actually gone through and finished up all of these copper golems now. We have all of them in the sorting system, and I nearly got stuck in there. So yeah, there's only 4 in each section. We'll see how that goes. I think based on hopper speed, this should be more than enough because each of them are only doing, well actually this one's doing 4 chests. But all the other ones, they're only doing 3 double chests, so there shouldn't be an issue with the amount. Now you may have noticed my inventory is absolutely packed with chests, and that's because, oh, I'm dreading this. I am dreading this. This is going to be possibly the worst task. Where am I stuck? I need to move every single item to this area. And yeah, I really don't know where to start. I guess I'm just going to have to start moving boxes and boxes and boxes. I spotted some glowing thing in the distance. There's one of these guys fell down earlier. And we're back at the main islands now. Now here is the very long task. I am not looking forward to sorting through all this. I think instead of viewing this as an entire project, I need to just take it item by item and just start going through them. So we have all our shulker boxes of iron blocks, and I have quite a lot of those. Got 15 full shulkers. All my logs, all of my leaves and roots, all of the odd wood shapes, and that is the first double chest filled. This really is it. We are actually moving out of this place, and I'm not going to lie, I am going to miss it. I really am. Even though it's difficult with the storage, I do enjoy having the little Ewok houses as my base. So it's going to be interesting having like a full storage room and a whole palace. Don't get me wrong, I will still be coming here because this super smelter, I am not building that again. No chance I am not building that smelter again. So when I want to do bulk smelting, I will be coming here. What? One of my shulker boxes just disappeared. Where did that go? Is it behind him? It fell right behind him. Brilliant. But that is all of the stone stuff. And I've just realised this barrel here. Are there still villagers in there? There's still villagers that never got used. Oh no. The poor guys. They've been sat in there for forever. For a couple of years. Guess we can move on to the nether items now. Why do I have gold boots in here? Considering how much netherrack I've actually mined, this is all I have to my name. So I've been not keeping it much at all. I wondered why this box wasn't getting moved with the rest. It's got 2 dirt missing. That's nearly 4 double chests full of shulkers we've moved so far. All of this terracotta that I'm not using. All this sugar cane. All of this sand and gravel as well. Wait a minute. You're telling me I went and crafted all that sandstone when I was trying to make the blooming palace? And I had like 6 shulker boxes of it here. What am I doing? Honestly, what are we doing with some of these items? And that is one more room fully cleared out now. Now it is this final room, and this one is messy. This one is not going to be fun to sort through. I almost forgot about all my coal boxes. When you really take a second to stop and think about this, this is quite an insane task. This is like every item I've collected for the last year and a half. Got all of this ore from mining out all of those areas for the nether hub, so this is a lot. What was I doing with this? What kind of shulker box is this? Now that I'm doing this, I'm seeing that there's so many items that haven't been put into my storage system, and I wouldn't even know how to put them in. Like, where am I going to put potions? Oh man, this part's giving me a headache. Oh, all my elytras as well. Oh my gosh. I'm confused though. I swear I had more flint than this. Where did it all go? More pumpkin seeds. Oh my god. Seeds. What are they doing in here? Cobwebs. Another thing not in my storage system. I'm going to miss this room as well. This was a really nice room to work from. Especially these armor stands. Look at this little guy with his eye popping out. Oh, I remember building these. These were good times. And I believe that is it. Everything other than my shulker boxes is emptied out. I don't know if you guys have ever moved houses, you know, whether it's with your family when you're young or when you move out when you're an adult and you're moving into your first place, or just moving in general when you're an adult. I'm at that stage now where the house is empty and it feels weird. It feels so weird. One, not having all shulker boxes all around the tops, but just everything is empty. It just feels so strange, like it's not real. What do I do about these guys? I never even name tagged them. I just put them in here. Yeah, so I had 8.5 double chests full of shulker boxes in my storage. But now is actually kind of the long part, which is going around all the farms and just deciding how much of it I want to take with me and how much I'm going to leave. I do love this little scene down here. We've got Darth Vader lifting up Don Pebble's head for the Darth moment scene, and then we can go down the back here and we have the creaking farm. Now, this might be the most important block, if I'm honest, because this is the one I use for a lot of the scaffolding. I didn't even put a spot for gunpowder. That is 38 shulker boxes of gunpowder. Oh, my keyboard's run out of battery. I don't think I've ever had that issue before. Now, this is going to be a task. There's at least 40 shulker boxes there, plus the sugarcane. And we're on the 11th double chest. Oh dear. More coal! That's so much coal. There is just no possibility that I run out of rockets. I mean, if you do the maths, I have enough to make 120 shulker boxes of rockets, which is a ridiculous amount. Oh no, oh no, I have another 4 shulkers of gunpowder sitting in here. Not once in my life have I ever run out of the shards. Oh, well, there's a few there, but yeah, I never run out of shards. I always run out of these because these use more for the sea lanterns, and I don't really use the other blocks normally. Alright, I need a break. It's been nearly 3 hours of this. I'm going to turn this off for a minute because look, we're on the 12th double chest. And this is all shulker boxes full of items. This is insane. I am back and ready to start moving some items again.
Don't try it!
Heading into Jabba's Palace. Take a look at that. So we got the Han Solo in carbonite down the end, and we have another amazing scene. I really enjoyed doing all these armor stand scenes. I can't wait to get to do some of them on Naboo, but this might be one of my favourites. I just think it looks so good, Han Solo in carbonite. Don't forget the entire band as well. That is one random box of items. And we're done with Jabba's Palace. I have an insane amount of carrots and wheat. Might as well pop these cocoa beans. Not even a full shulker box of those. How is there a lead in here? Oh, that must be from when I watched the Wandering Trader just run into my TNT duper. That was hilarious. That's 54 shulkers of cobblestone done. I'm going to come back for these because I've left all my diamonds at the main island, and we don't really need these for a while anyway. Well, that is everything from this island that I need, although I do have other farms that I'm going to go check out, and those ones might have quite a lot of resources, like the Piglin Bartering Farm. I think first I'll take a look at the gold. Not too much, to be fair. Whoa, 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 how are they getting down? Why is there a glass missing? I don't have a sword on me. I will never run out of frog lights. I don't think I'm ever going to need to run this farm again. Another 10 shulkers of coal blocks. Oh, this is not going to be fun. Guys, half of my remaining shulker boxes are gone. Oh no. Wish me luck. Oh my gosh, I already pre-packaged all this gravel as well. That is it. The gold bartering farm is completely emptied out, except from a few things. I didn't finish off all the blackstone because I just won't have the space for it anyway. 18 double chests full of shulkers. And my last nether farm is the basalt. I'm down to 200 shulker boxes. And the final steps will be to check out my other farms. Yeah, oh actually, we'll take the glowstone. That's hard to come by. I'll definitely take these. It's the final farm! Finally! And this guy's still here. I didn't even need to come here. What a waste of time. I don't have a sword! I don't have a sword! Well, this is basically it. A year and a half's worth of work in 19 boxes. How small is that? But now we need to move it all over, and this actually should be the quick part. I'm going to use the method I used before, which is setting up the ender pearl stasis, and then I'm going to use the end to travel there, drop the boxes off, and then get teleported back. First ender pearl is going in. First lot moved. Let's see what the total time is. I feel like something's gone wrong here. I am over the halfway mark. There's no way it messed up twice. I didn't set it off. What an idiot. Close now. This is the last of the items from this island that I'm going to be taking with me. Well, this is it. The final trip. I don't need to put another ender pearl. So we can just go in the portal, go to the end, and then go to our new base for the final time. Well, there it is. I massively overestimated how many items I have, but now everything has been sorted and it's all been put into the correct slots, and some of these are much more full than others. The sand, and I think, yeah, the gravel is also pretty full. I've also gone through and sorted out all of these item filters. This actually took so long doing all of these filters. I think it took longer than actually moving all of the items over, because I did name them. I just don't want any chance of anything getting caught and unfiltered out. So yeah, this has all been named. I actually spelt this wrong in the first place, but I thought it's better to do it this way anyway, so I went through and did all of them with this spelling error, because I'm never going to use a filter of this name again, so therefore any filters that get put through the system won't actually affect any of the redstone. And yeah, literally they're all done. Everything is all filled up. You can see I've just got everything in all the right slots, and yeah, I'm just so happy. You can see I've already been working away at sorting out some items, and I've loved it. I've absolutely loved having all this space and everything just accessible to me like this. But of course, there is a reason why I've sorted out all of these items, and that's because we need to do another build for this episode. All I've done is the interior here and moved all of the items. So I think it's time to start working on... Yeah, you can see I have destroyed part of the island. I've got a Lightmatica schematic ready. I've even destroyed part of the back of this palace, because we're going to start working on the back of the palace and all of the pillars and everything behind. So let's jump into that time lapse now.
join me, and together we can rule the algorithm as creator and sub.
Well, that took quite a bit of time. It actually took me 12 hours to build all of this, but I am so happy with how it all worked out. I'm so happy with this. This palace is looking absolutely amazing. For me, I mean, I don't know about what other people think, but I've been looking at pictures of other people's Naboo builds online, and a lot of them are older, so they don't have access to the blocks that I do, and I think it's just way more accurate now. But I also think that I did a better job of actually lining up where all the pillars are supposed to go. Now, as per usual, you can't get like every single angle for every single bit. It's just not possible from the movies. So you have things from the video games, like I mentioned earlier, and in previous episodes for the interior as well. So I kind of have to make a little medley of them. But I think overall, the actual layout of everything is pretty much spot on. There's a few things that didn't work out exactly as I would like them. That's just due to the size constraints. Realistically, this Naboo Palace is actually 6 times the size. The real size of it is 6 times the size of all of this, and yeah, that wasn't happening. So this is pretty good. I think I've done a good job of it. But I will say that this is one of those builds where it does actually look a lot better from a distance. When you start getting close to it, some of the stuff just doesn't blend in very well, and it's probably due to the size. So if I just sort of go out, you can see as you go away from the build, it starts to look better and better. And then when I get up close, you can see like in here, these two don't line up very nicely. This one's actually okay, but some of these, like this one, look, it doesn't line up nicely on the sides here. This is actually a square, not a circle. This is another one where the shape isn't great, but when you move away from it, it starts to blend in. That's probably the worst one, if I'm honest. I think my favourite of the arches is this building around the front. Now, I did go a little bit rogue on this front building here. The arches, I think, look great. As you go around it, you can actually see that you can see them. Whereas some of the buildings, you can... Let me see if I can find one. You'll notice, yeah, these start to block off the edges, so you don't actually see all of the arches. What I will be doing with this is I'm actually going to break down these walls in here and have this be like a little drop off, so we can go inside and just drop down into where I'm going to have my bedroom in here. And I think what's going to be best is to put my beacons up here, and we'll try and maybe put it through these slabs up the top there. Other things that we can do is, for example, down here, I have blocked up all of the entrances with just black concrete. That's just what I like to do when I'm not using an entrance yet. But I can open these up, and I can open this up, and you can see inside all of these pillars, they're all empty. So we do have a lot of space. Now, this is obviously the biggest area in here, which is where I'm going to do the main bedroom area. But then, like, you know, we have a pillar here. We have some over here as well, which are also empty. And I think the idea with these is going to be to use these for farms. So this could be a bamboo farm, and we can have like a whole crafting area where it makes all the different types of wood and drops them down into my sorting system. Then of course, you know, we can have sugar cane, or we can have like a smelter, or anything really. We do still have some rooms to do in here. We've got this entrance, and this one down here, and the same on the other side. So there's a lot to build in the palace. The outside though is actually pretty much finished. The only thing we need to do is sort of add some foliage. There's a path that comes down along the side of the river here. There's a bit of like a concrete platform here, and mainly it's going to be trees. I do have some smaller tree designs because the trees that I've built all around the edges of the island are actually just too big. They just cover up too much of the palace, and I don't think that that's suitable. But I think we will finish off that interior in the next episode, now that the exterior is done, other than the trees. And also, I forgot to mention where I redid some of the terraforming down here. There's some missing trees here, and I will need to add some trees onto this bit just to make it look a bit less bland. And we'll scatter some around, you know. But I will say that now this is actually built into the landscape, it's looking so much better. It actually looks part of the landscape rather than just a floating oval, whatever that shape is. And of course, once we get the rest of the island going, it will all start to blend in a lot better. But there is one last thing that I mentioned earlier in the episode that we need to get done today, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging, and that is this big platform behind me, this big wall that's just empty. If you haven't guessed already what it's going to be, let me show you. That is right, this is going to be my map wall, and you can see how many maps it's going to take. This is ridiculous. This is for the whole island. I actually went through and checked how many I would need, and then just tried to see where I could fit it really in the storage room. And actually it looks quite cool when it's on the wall. So we're just going to go through and fill out all of the maps now. I did want to leave this until I'd finished up the outside of the palace so that we can get that on there just to start with. Now hopefully I don't make too much of a mess of this and have to keep redoing these. And there it is, one stupidly oversized map, but I think the palace is looking incredible on this map, and I can't wait to see how it's going to look once we actually have all the streets and buildings in. When this island's finished, I think this map is going to look insane, but honestly I'm so happy with how the palace looks. I think it just looks so cool on the map. I know the colours aren't perfect, right? Like, obviously it's taken a certain colour palette for each block type and not the exact colour of the block. But still, I think it just looks really cool. But that will be all for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching. May the force be with you.